Hello. Welcome to the Angels in Politics broadcast. I am the creative and artistic manifestation of Angels in Politics, the white collar goon, and I have you outside on this beautiful occasion, wonderful day, terrific weather. I feel like it's mid 70s right now. The sun is shining upon us, and that's just that, solar energy activating top down through the spine, through the spinal column, um, starting off with the crown chakra, going all the way down to the root. All right. Um, First and foremost, have you had a meal as of yet? Because I haven't. I still haven't broken my fast. I'm just drinking my water, so that places or that goes into the solar plexus chakra, or the second brain, some would call it. Some may just say, this is just the tummy. But it's very important to take care of your tummy. Um, my homegirl might say, put that tum away, But yeah, I haven't broken my fast. I'm just on the water right now, hot water. A little bit of lime is cut up in there. Threw some apple cider vinegar in there just to make sure that the body is operating on its on the proper frequency, and being able to receive um, what the universe has in store for me. Just being in accordance with the universal laws of nature, or the laws of universal nature. And that's what you see around. That's the sky, that's the trees, that's the greenery, that's the earth. If you look at my feet, I have my slippers on, but now I want you to see the toes. They're a bit ashy right now. But I mean, just having your feet on the grass does, you know, it's actually very magnetic. It does powerful things to the body as it reacts to the earth. And as you're able to interface and apply your programming with nature, imagine what you're doing whenever you meet that individual. Imagine what's going to happen whenever you go into that workplace and they feel like, wow, you're just astounding with the information that you're able to implement. You're just remarkable in the way that you're able to, you know, drive the whatever the objectives are, drive them forward, move them forward. You have so much momentum. You have so much enthusiasm. You have a certain, aura about yourself. You're so efficient. You're so effective. Your life is easeful, peaceful, purposeful. There must be a definite or definiteness or definiteness. Yeah, definiteness. A definiteness of purpose, or definite. Well, a definitive purpose. You must be moving with intention, and that's what it boils down to. Sometimes you don't have to have a definiteness of purpose or definiteness of purpose. Sometimes it's just, what are your goals? What are your dreams? What are you pursuing? Okay, so I did finish that book by Napoleon Hill yesterday. It's called Outwitting the Devil. I honestly recommend that to you if you are in a period of, transformation. If you are in the stages of coming up and beaming up and being yourself, and figuring out more about yourself and achieving something that's greater than yourself. I would recommend that book, Outwitting the Devil. I mean, I'm going to go into that later, the context of that book much later, but I'm going to speak about, like, how I got here, and not, like, physically how I got into this, like, yard. I just walked outside. I just had to finish my morning assignment for the fellowship. But I'm talking about, like, the champion for the divine feminine. Um, Essentially being divine feminity's cheerleader. How did I accept this role? How did I step into this role? How did I transcend my earthly or my ego's identification, or the confines, the the projections of my old self. How did I start off being this, that, and the third, and now I am the divine feminine's cheerleader. Now I'm their mascot. Now I'm their promoter. Now I'm the promoter and also the provocateur. How did I get to this point? So boom, there was a time when I was working in the YMCA, and I know the sunlight is shining, but that's a good thing. That means you're feeling what you're feeling you're feeling that solar star right now. Um, there was a time I was working at the YMCA, and there were some young ladies who were in the group that I was teaching, or I wasn't a teacher. I was more of a health and wellness background assistant kind of guy. But they call me coach. Yeah, I was a coach there, and there was some sisters, and they were different ages. One, I guess they were sisters, and there was one who was, let's say, I don't know, 6, and another one was like 8, and then the oldest one, she was in the older group because I work with the 6 to 8 year olds. So the oldest one could have been like 9 or something, 9 or 10. But the two younger sisters were in my group, the 6 and 8 year old one, and they were they were just really quiet, really sweet girls, very quiet, very quiet. And the 8 year old one, the middle one, she was able to, she actually didn't speak almost at all. Like I very rarely ever heard her speak the whole whatever time period she was there. But she was participatory, She went out and she engaged with, the games. And there were some games that she just wasn't for, the very reserved girl. So it's like, if there was like a dodgeball, they was like, yo, I'm cool on it. I'm just going to sit down. Or if there was whatever the case may be, they weren't for it. They didn't have to participate. We didn't force them. This is the YMCA. Like, it's like, no, we're just really trying to get you. This is for homeschool kids. So it's like, we're just trying to get them some type of like activity. We were just trying to get them to do something constructive with the body and get the body moving and be productive and have fun. And I'm pretty sure they were having fun at home. And that's another story altogether. But like, we wanted them to interface with other students, with other kids, establish bonds, relationships, test your physical abilities, capabilities, see what you're able to do, these types of things. And so yeah, the middle sister, she was able to like do what she wanted here and there, but she was a little bit comfortable with her actions. Like whether she was into it, she was fine, but if not, she just didn't participate and just sat quietly on the side. The younger sister though, she was a little bit more turned up. Not turned up in a bad way, but she was she was really tiny, had the squeaky voice, like, and you could barely hear her. Like when she spoke, it was like you had to lean in every single time because she just didn't speak up. That was just her way, and she was like this big, but really adorable. But like, that's a human being, and she was just about her motive, and I noticed from her that she really didn't like the games that much, or maybe she did. She just didn't like participating within the games. She was an individual, very much so. She moved according to the beat of her own drum. She had her own perspective, and she wanted to engage. She wanted to intermingle. She wanted to be a part of what she liked, but in her own way. Put it that way. So if we played dodgeball, she wasn't out there like getting gator skin, squishy balls thrown in her face was not her forte. She wasn't keen at all. But what she did like to do was be on the sidelines and like cheer And it wasn't like she wasn't doing loud cheers. She wasn't a vocal young lady, but you could just tell that that was her gift. Oh, that's what made her happy. Like she didn't need to be like playing kickball. She never wanted to play actually. Like she never wanted to play the games, but she was very involved to say the least. So she will be on the sideline, and I don't know whether she was just cheering for her sister or if she was just cheering for, I don't know if it was a particular team. It could have just been for everybody. But she was just out there on the sideline, not on the court, but she would just be, raising her hands and spreading their arms and just a full on thing. And I'm like, what's going on? Yeah, like what's going on? Like, do you want to play? And it's like, no, she didn't want to play. I would ask her, like, do you want to play today? Like, how are you feeling today? You feeling like going in? Didn't want to play. But that was her play. Her play was to be the she had the solar energy. She had that. She was the light. She wanted to emit or transmit or transmute her passion, her joy, her charisma, her charm, her everything, and she put that out through cheering, and it was her own way, but I really like respected it. Like I truly respected it, and we let her do her own thing for sure. Like, hey, if she's happy, she's cool, like she's not crying, all right, go ahead, homegirl. And that's what she did. She was on the sideline, and she didn't do much clapping, and she wasn't loud. It was just a silent like fist in the air and arms spread, and she was on her tippy toes, and it was like, oh shit, like, so this is what she wants to do. She wants to be like the assist man. She wants to give you she wants to provide you with encouragement, with love, with joy, with gratitude. She was the gratitude cheerleader. She was the cheerleader of euphoria and of understanding, of wisdom, of sympathy, of empathy, of encouragement. That's what she was promoting, and I'm like, yo, like, that's it. And this takes me to like kind of how I was like as a kid. I wasn't a cheerleader, but I used to play like sports or whatever, and I used to hoop. And when I was younger, like let's say the second grade or something like that, second and third grade, I remember playing for the YMCA, and at the end of the year, you would have your like banquet, where you went somewhere like CC's Pizza or some shit, or you went somewhere and you got pizza, and they gave you trophies at the end of the term, or the end of the season is what it was called, and you had your soda, and you could play arcade games wherever you were. And I remember sometimes they had it at coach's house or people's homes, but I remember being like in the second or third grade, and my coach was somebody who, I think his family or his wife and kids went to our church. I don't know if maybe he did. I rarely saw him at our church, but he was somebody who we knew. But either way, he would say something nice about people and then bring them up, and then they would get their award. And I remember he said something about me. He was like, "Oh, Gabe, he was our point guard, and he was the whatever nice things that whatever the niceties a coach is supposed to say to kids." But what stood out to me was I never ever felt like I had to tell somebody or like ask somebody or almost beg somebody to shoot the ball. But that was Gabe. It's like it's like we like implored to him how important. Like, it was like one of those things where it was like we lamented the fact that you should shoot the ball, like just shoot the ball, because I was a pretty decent shooter at that time, maybe second grade. And this is like, think about it, when you're the YMCA at that age, like this is not even the standard size hoops. They have like the small hoops that they like attach to the rim to bring it lower, so you can like, that's like eye level. But I was fast and I was athletic, and I think so, at least, at that age. But I would get close to the basketball rim or the hoop and I just didn't shoot it. I would pass it. I mean, I was the point guard, but I would pass it to people who didn't want to shoot, or pass it to people who probably couldn't shoot as well as I could. But it didn't really register to me. Like, I know the purpose or the premise of the game was to score points, but like, I just didn't. I just didn't shoot. I just didn't. I just didn't want to. You know, I didn't. In a sense, I felt like I got more satisfaction on or based off of other people's success than mine. I got more, it was more gratifying to see friends of mine, peers of mine, who didn't get a chance or didn't, score. It was more important for them to get their thing going than it was for me because, I don't know, I felt like scoring points wasn't a direct correlation to how I felt I did in the games. Scoring points wasn't like, oh, like I had a good game, I scored 30, I scored 30, I scored 20, I never scored 30, I never scored 20. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I felt like I was still a fair player, or I felt like maybe I might have been, in my head, the best player on the team. But in order to be the best player, you would also presume was like, well, you have to score points. And to my just to my core, I just didn't feel that way. I didn't feel that way. And as time has elapsed and progressed, and here I am now, I am still that way. Like, I still like to, I am the cheerleader in the sense of, like, brother, it's not about me. It's not about the points that I put on the board. I'd rather be that individual that can project you with that confidence, project you with that awareness, project upon you that sense of that sense of accomplishment, that sense of joy, that sense of that altruistic, there's an altruistic fervor or feeling that permeates through my being that says, yo, Gabe, I've had certain innate or instinctive ways about myself that I really didn't know were that odd or were that pronounced or were that amplified until this moment of awakening where I'm able to be introspective in these self-effacing moments through life and through listening to other people and asking people how they feel about me, I guess, and just having time to reflect and meditate and be a witness to your thoughts and how I was. But there are some people who have difficulties being comfortable with themselves. There are people who have difficulties or have challenges as far as their own, self-esteem, if that's a real thing, or their own awareness or perception of themselves. There are people who find it challenging to be happy or to have a certain type of confidence to go out and establish relationships, cultivate relationships, meet new people, their openness to new experiences. There are a lot of people who aren't that way. So I feel like the best thing or the only thing that I should be doing right now is taking what I have in abundance and giving it relentlessly, selflessly, almost in a, when you go to a store or you go to a store that's closing or something like this, and it's everything must go type of sales, everything must go, or end of the season, everything's on the racks and everything must go 80% off, 90% off, whatever the case may be. It's just take it. You should be doing that with your spiritual gifts. And if my gifts happen to be, I don't know what they are. I feel like it's up to the universal laws of nature and how the Lord is allowing my physical self to decrease, and He will increase as He permeates through me, and how I transmutate His energy into every area of expression, and that's socially, that's emotionally, that's spiritually, psychologically, cognitively, psychologically, physiologically. I mean, so that's that way. But my gift should be give it, take it, homie. Like you need whatever it is you need. Compassion, have this. You need empathy, here. You need enthusiasm, take it. You need diligence, you need dutifulness, you need industriousness, you need creativity, you need passion, brother, you need, sister, you need passion. I have it, take it. And that's really how I'm promoting the divine feminine. That's really how I'm activating the divine feminine. That's how I'm really becoming in alignment to my purpose, because it's like, shouts out to the divine feminine. I'm gonna promote it. Like, I'm on your team. I'm on your team, not just because I'm telling you what you want to hear. No, like, for me to be really on your team, I'm telling you it's all about accountability, homegirl. I'm telling you it's about extreme ownership, homegirl. I'm telling you, like, yo, don't be looking to the left or to the right or to the up or to the down for somebody to save you, because you are the archetypal hero. You are the quintessential superhero. You are the person who will change the universe. That's where I'm at with it, homegirl. But I'm your biggest fan. I'm your biggest cheerleader to the divine feminine. Namaste. Namaskar.